And now we're going to move on to the movie review section of our show, and this is going to be fun. Because we saw Magic Mike's Last Dance, Magic Mike 3, which was supposed to be an HBO Max movie, which they, thank God, promoted to a theatrical release to at least 1,500 theaters. So not full wide, but half wide, I'd say. I love this movie. I just want to go ahead and throw that right off the bat. Really, really like this movie. Of my 2023 movies, it's my favorite of the year so far, but I do want to mark that I have not yet seen Plane. Just let that be clear.
That's a good point.
But, yeah. How much I like the movie is where we're probably going to tussle, but I thoroughly enjoyed the film. Nicholas, what do you think of Magic Mike's Last Dance?
Where would you put it on the ranking?
I think it's my favorite of the trilogy.
I think you're insane.
See, I knew that this was going to happen. And here's the thing. I thought about it. I really sat on it.
Yeah.
I thought about Magic Mike a lot this week.
He rewatched them.
I did.
In anticipation.
I did, because Hannah had never seen them. And what I like about... First of all, what a franchise. I just want to say.
Every movie is so uniquely different.
I was going to say that.
That's what's cool about it.
Every movie is great. Like, the first one is like this grounded, like, very human, realistic story. Almost like a la, like, fucking Clerks. Like, Magic Mike feels very... The first one feels very, like, down to earth, in your face, in a good way.
Really in your face.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Magic Mike 2, I liken it to The Expendables 2, where it's just a bunch of people having fun, and they know what the movie they want to make is, and they just went out and did it. And by the way, the cinematography in Magic Mike 2 is unfucking real. I just want to throw that, because no one ever talks about that. Which it was shot by Steven Soderbergh. He didn't direct it. That movie...
Wait, he shot it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Whenever Soderbergh does a lot of stuff on a movie, he does pseudonyms. So you don't see his name everywhere. So his like cinematography name is Peter Andrews.
Okay.
And his writing name is like Mary Ann something, but it's just him.
So he didn't direct Magic Mike 2, but he directed Magic Mike 2.
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah.
But like it looks great. It's a great fun romp. And then the third one I liken to Pitch Perfect, where it has a goal. It sets up the story very well. You fall in love with the new characters for the most part. And then it does the thing it promised you at the end. Like, it's just here you go. Because Pitch Perfect was like a sports movie for theater people. Yeah. That's how I always saw it in terms of how it's structured. And I thought Magic Mike 3 was structured just like that. And I enjoyed it. The butler character in this movie is my favorite movie character in like 5 years. He's so great.
He's very funny. He's very funny.
And the Channing Tatum in this film felt more like 21 Jump Street Channing Tatum. And I enjoyed that. I thought it fit where Mike was at in his life. And Steven Soderbergh always knows like when something is funny. And like this movie opens with narration and it's so funny. Like, but it's played seriously, but you know it's supposed to be funny, and it's great. And the narration like goes throughout the movie. It's great. I loved it. And I'm so glad they didn't put it on HBO Max.
I agree and disagree with a few of your points.
Okay.
I hated the narration.
I thought it was funny.
I thought the first one was funny.
Yeah.
But then as it goes on, it kind of reveals what the narration is.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of where that landed.
Fair.
Like, I thought it would have been funny if it was just in the opening, just to, like, set up where we're at now.
Yeah.
But throughout, I thought it was, as with most narration in movies, I think, it was like, you're also showing me. Like, the narration wasn't filling in any gaps.
Yeah.
And I was getting everything visually and from the story that the narration was telling me.
Yeah, and it made the narration pointless.
Exactly. It was kind of like one of those, it's like, do you not trust me to have interpreted what I just saw?
Yeah.
Like, even in, like, Ready Player One, I didn't like that narration. Like,
I'll give you that. I didn't enjoy that narration either.
You know, I think it's most overall. I just don't think, like, Avatar 2 did not like the narration.
I don't want to spoil it. There's a couple movies with narration I like, but it's because the narration is used to trick you, but not without cheating the story. Okay, which I think is cool. If I said the example, if people who know the movie be like, yes, but I don't want to in case it spoils anything.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
For the most part, I liked most of the new characters. I mean, I love Magic Mike naturally, and I really liked the butler character. I thought the daughter was really good in it.
Me too.
I was not a huge fan of Salma Hayek's character.
We can fight, but it's okay.
They kind of went for this, like, I don't know, femme fatale mystery type vibe with her, and I don't think it landed to me because I felt like she seemed very sporadic and all over the place with the things, but it wasn't. I felt that it was not the intent of the character to be having these massive emotional swings.
That's fair.
And I think Salma Hayek does a great job of landing those because she's a terrific actress.
Yeah.
But like when you look at her like in Eternals, like that could have just stayed throughout Magic Mike, like if she kept that kind of tone.
Yeah.
But it was these, you know, if it was one thing if she was like on the verge of crisis, and I know that a lot of her life had crumbled in the movie.
Yeah.
But it didn't, the emotional swings didn't work for me with that. And obviously in the trailers, you know, their kind of romance. I bought it in some scenes and then some I didn't buy into. It was kind of back and forth for me.
That's fair. Where I liked that relationship and her character being that way is it sets it up in the beginning. I'm all about them.
Yeah.
And then as you find out more about Salma Hayek's character, you start to be like, oh shit, I don't know if I can trust this lady.
Yeah.
And Magic Mike feels like the same way. And I thought that really helped the story move along of like, can we trust this person? Can we not trust, like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
This movie has a bus sequence that's fantastic, a montage. Although nothing will ever beat the convenience store scene for Magic Mike 2. That's the best scene in the entire franchise.
And, you know, speaking of the bus scene, that just goes into, I think that this Magic Mike's arc, Mike's arc in all three movies is great. I loved his arc in this movie, too, especially, and what they have him doing and everything. What was missing for me was that sort of camaraderie of all the other dancers.
Yes.
You know, you have Matt Bomer.
Yeah.
You have Joe Manganiello. You have KevinNash. You have all these people, and part of what the charm of the franchise is,
especially the second movie,
their interaction and all of that. And with each individual character, you get to know their personality, you get to know their wants, their desires, kind of their motivations, even amidst all the ensemble, whereas this one didn't have the ensemble. Yeah. And that's fine. It doesn't need it, but I think that took away the charm of the franchise for me. Yeah. Because I could not tell you one of the dancers' names, and I don't think any of them had lines.
And that's where I completely agree with you. And I think, unfortunately, COVID had a lot to do with that. I think there's a world without COVID where it's the same exact movie, but the dancers he hires are his people. And I think that would make the movie infinitely better. Like, I think that would have, like, peak Magic Mike movie if that was able to happen. Yeah. I won't explain how, but you do kind of get some of the old crew in the movie, which I did appreciate. But I still, like, if this is the last Magic Mike movie, that would suck if that was the last time, like, that's how I saw the crew.
It was just very, like, that part felt forced. And while I did love seeing him, and I think that's when I got that glimmer of that charm and fun. Exactly. But it was like, but that's all I get.
Yeah. No, I completely see you there.
It's kind of like it's kind of like to me if Expendables 5 was just Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. And you're like, I
see your point.
This is just a Sylvester Stallone action movie then. Like, part of what I like about the Expendables, going back to your Expendables 2 metaphor, I love watching all these stars interact and the ensemble of it all. Yeah. Because Magic Mike always felt like an ensemble movie, and then it just turned quickly.
You know, I agree. And that's the one, it's almost like, okay, Dalton, you get your favorite Magic Mike movie, but you don't get the crew. Like, it almost felt like I had to make a trade-off. Yeah. Because I feel like from a story perspective, from a character arc perspective, I like both movies. I thought this one was my favorite journey, seeing Channing Tatum's character go on. And I bought the whole journey all the way through to the end. Like, everything. Yeah. There's even things like in Magic Mike 2 where I'm like, okay, I don't buy that, but they're having fun. Like, you know? Yeah. But like... And what I like about each Magic Mike movie is the way each movie ends, you think you know the story of the next one, and they just don't do that. Like, each time it happens that way. Like, I love, and mild spoilers for Magic Mike 2, but I love how Magic Mike 2, they're just like, oh yeah, Dallas took the kid, and they went and they did their own show. It was just like, real quick. And it's like, oh, I guess Matthew McConaughey got really expensive after he won an Oscar. You know? And no one liked the other actor, so it just kind of happened that way. Yeah. There's only one thing about going back to just the franchise as a whole. Who the fuck color graded Magic Mike 1? I want to beat the shit out of them so bad. Why? It's so awful. It's so bad.
Was it one of Soderbergh's aliases?
You know what? I should be careful what I say, because maybe, I don't know. But man.
Overall, though, I mean, recommend.
Oh, enthusiastically recommend.
Yeah.
I love Magic Mike 3.
I honestly, I don't know where I
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll hold on to it.
Oh, Magic Mike 1's still my favorite.
That's fair. I like every movie in the franchise.
And then I go back and forth now between 2 and 3 because I think 3 overall is a better movie constructive-wise, but 2 is just so much fun that it's like, where do you...
2 is fun. Also...
But 2's not good enough to become my favorite like Expendables 2 is.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm going to buy the 4K pack when they release all 3 of them.
Yeah.
1,000%. There's a moment in this movie where they make a pun about the phrase Magic Mike that is so good that I almost just left the theater out of respect.
It was they also had a full title drop that is one of the best and also worst lines of dialogue I've ever heard.
Oh yes. Yes.
It was so bad, but I'm like, man, they went for it.
They did. They went for it, and they went for it early too.
They went for it immediately and like the cheesiest way they could have done it.
Oh yeah. But it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Yes. Enthusiastically recommend Magic Mike's Last Dance. Absolutely.
You think there's enough steam in them for a 4 or no? You think it ends here?
If they do 4, you got to bring the crew back.
Yes.
You have to.
Yeah.
I think. And here's the thing. This movie is not getting a lot of love critically. It's about like half, like late 40s, early 50s Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Blows my mind. I loved it.
What did all the other ones have?
I think, you know what? We're going to do some fucking research.
Pull up that RT, my guy.
I am, dude. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So the first Magic Mike got a 78. The second one, XXL, got a 65. And this one has a 46. And that's critically.
I just disagree.
Hold on. Let's do the fan scores. First Magic Mike, 60. No. Second Magic Mike, 55. No. Third Magic Mike, 76.
How is that the highest fan?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
How is that the highest audience score? The audience is all women in their 40s.
Yep.
And there was not really that much stripping.
Yep. You know what it is? It's because with the third one, that's when they implemented the proof that you saw the movie. There's a lot of people who just wanted women to not have fun in Rotten Tomatoes back then. They can't stop them now, though. So, yes, highly, highly recommend Magic Mike's Last Dance. Loved it. And I hope they make Magic Mike 4. I'll watch it.
I would watch it.